Now, here's today's headlines with the Fox Morning Show.
On 107.9, The Fox.
Do you know what today is?
Yes, of course.
Well, it's Groundhog Day.
That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day!
Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of prognosticators.
What's it going to be?
6 more weeks of winter, I say.
6 more weeks of winter.
Or it could be the coming of an early spring.
You think it's going to be an early spring? Who knows?
Punxsutawney Phil!
Showtime.
Yeah, I guess we got to wait. What? Here within the next 30 minutes or so, I think.
I would think so, because they're an hour ahead of us, of course, over there in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm hearing from insiders that it's going to be an early spring.
It's looking like it around here.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they're looking at the obvious right now.
I'd put the money on that.
Yeah, me too. So, well, as soon as we know, you'll know.
Right on. Yeah, we will keep a finger on the pulse of that groundhog.
That's right. Meanwhile, that Fox forecast looking fantastic. Again, some fog this morning in some areas, so careful if you're dealing with that. Otherwise, partly sunny today and 40s for the daytime high. In fact, 40s each and every day through your weekend. We might see 50 again come Tuesday.
How about that?
Yeah, so check it out for yourself. That full Fox forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com right now. Let's see. We've got 30 at 6:02.
Welcome to it, second day of February. Welcome to you Friday, Groundhog's Day. Here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. I hate to use the word man, but he's facing terrorizing and trespassing charges after police say he refused to leave the mother of his kids home and then threatened to beat her up and kill her. Court documents say while being arrested, one Adrian Williams told officers, "Hurry up so I don't come back and kill this." Expletive. He's due back in court March 13th for a preliminary hearing. Well, the rower crews are tearing down the mall. It's a three-phased approach to the demolition. It's going to be about 30 days for the I think Herberger's is coming down right now, the western wall of it.
All right.
Yeah. And then phase 2 will be in about 30 days, south portion. That's where the new library and community center is going to go. Whole thing should be done by the middle of April, 1st of May.
All right.
Cleaned up.
All right. That's the Moorhead Mall.
That's the old Moorhead Mall. Fire crews responded to an early morning fire at Berksev Brothers after a delivery truck caught fire.
Ooh.
Crews were called to 47th Street North in Fargo about 2:30 this morning. Multiple engines responded, were able to put the fire out quickly, but the smoke lasted about 30 minutes. Yeah, it's Groundhog's Day, but don't put too much stock in what Punxsutawney Phil says about springtime. He's only right 39% of the time.
That's it?
And that's in his region. It's even worse when he's for the western part of the country.
Sure.
You're better off flipping a coin, they say.
Yeah.
You know, they used to eat Phil after he made his prediction.
What?
Which isn't cool.
Wow.
They served him up after the first official Groundhog Day in the 1880s.
How did that sit with PETA?
Said he was quite tender. It was actually created the birth of PETA, I believe. That was the spur.
Suppose he tastes a lot like chicken.
Ground chicken, because it's groundhog. Tastes like Spam.
Yeah.
A small town in New Hampshire is upset about a new business called the Diaper Spa, where people wear diapers and pretend to be babies.
Weird.
Yeah, the owner is a therapist, says it's not a fetish thing.
Oh, really?
She claims it's a form of therapy to help people process issues from their childhood. You know, potty issues and stuff, I guess.
Wow.
Philadelphia Cream Cheese partnered with bagel shops in 5 cities to sell bagels without holes for a limited time.
Oh.
It's just a marketing stunt. The idea is to create more room for cream cheese.
Okay.
It's a dumb idea. How am Marge and I going to play ring toss? A mom in Florida has been banned for dropping her kids off at a private Christian school because she had a large ad for her OnlyFans on her vehicle. She admits that it links to explicit content.
What?
Yeah.
Well, what's the problem here?
I don't know. And while we're on the subject, U.S. syphilis counts are at their highest since 1950. And the states with the highest overall STD rates, Mississippi, Louisiana, and South Dakota.
Oh, wow.
Don't
Are
act
you
surprised.
surprised?
Don't act surprised. And finally, a Milwaukee woman's lost dog turned up at a local bar.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Did you hear about this? I wish we should ask Sarah.
We will, because I was thinking of her right away. Sarah, is this your
Sarah,
dog?
did you lose your dog? You know how they knew it was at the bar? Because when they found it, it was Shih Tzu faced. Yes, sir. I'll show my way out. That's your news for right now.
Careful when you say that.
It was scary at first.
Right. All right. Hey, coming up this morning, speaking of, old Sarah is back to talk about the Detroit Lions' disappointing loss. That's here shortly. Next, hour, we'll have some tickets for you to win Monster Jam. And speaking of, man, we've got the driver of Monster Jam truck, El Toro Loco, this morning, too.
Yeah, the big bull.
Yeah, so lots to come, including that Bison battle with the Jackrabbits last night. We'll check that scoreboard for you next in sports.
Crowd comes to life. 9 seconds to go. Damari Wheeler-Thomas out top. Drives, bounces. Scumberg, 4 seconds. Pull-up jumper. No good. Rebound tipped up. Good. Good. It's good by Noah Feddersen. 1 second to go. Bison lead. Feddersen with the putback. Bison lead at 74-73. Unbelievable.
Oh, Fatty with the tip-in. Oh, yes, the Bison go down to South Dakota State and come back home with a 74-73 win. Way to go, boys. Woo, what a game. And, geez, the weekend only gets better. Now the Bison will head north tomorrow to take on UND. That will be right here on your Bison Nation station with tip-off at 3:30, coverage beginning at 2:30. And after 8 this morning, we're going to talk with the voice of the Bison, Sam Niederman. He's on the team bus driving back, so that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, we'll find out everything you need to know about tomorrow's big matchup between the Bison and UND as well. Meanwhile, also a thriller last night from the NFL Pro Bowl games. It came down to none other than Vikings long snapper Andrew DePaula.
Remember, he needs 7 to win.
Bring it home.
That's fine.
There you go.
Time.
There it is.
Okay.
This is a machine. This is it. This is a machine.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Another win for the NFC.
Yeah, Vikings long snapper Andrew DePaula needed 7 points to win the snapshots for the NFC, and he got 9. Had to come through in the clutch, kid.
That's right.
Yeah. So the first batch of the Pro Bowl game skills challenges are in the books, with the NFC taking a 12-6 lead. Sunday, it'll all wrap up with 3 flag football games. $80,000 up for grabs for each of the winners. As Dallas Cowboys star Micah Parsons said, hey, there's a big difference between 80,000 and 40,000. Get your minds right.
Right. Calculators out. Your slide rule.
Kind of stating the obvious there. Of course, 1 week from this Sunday, it's the big game, the game that wraps up the entire season, the Super Bowl between the 49ers and the Chiefs in Las Vegas on February 11th. And the war of words have officially begun. Nick Bosa calling out the linemen for the Kansas City Chiefs, saying they hold a lot. There's some locker room material. They hold a lot.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, right. All right, that's your Fox Sports at Fox Forecast for today again. Starting out with some fog in some areas, so careful. Partly sunny otherwise, and we will return to the 40s for the daytime high. In fact, all the way through the weekend, we'll see 40s, maybe 50 again by Tuesday. It's all there at 1079thefox.com. Our temp right now, 30 at 612.
Well, she's become quite a fixture around here.
Yes,
We've grown quite fond of her. Old Sarah's back talking about the Lions' disappointing loss last Sunday.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show.
On 107.9 The Fox.
Hello.
Hey!
Hi, guys.
Hi, Sarah.
It is old Sarah.
So, man, what a disappointing loss for your Detroit Lions back there on Sunday. How are you feeling today? Let's start there. How are you feeling right now?
Are you coming around?
You know, it's yes. You know what? And I actually felt really good on Monday morning. I woke up and I was like, what a season. You know, like, wow. I mean, and the first half of the game was unbelievable. And, you know, so was the second half. I mean, I woke up Monday morning feeling really, really, really good and proud. And then I started, you know, hearing from or reading all the Monday morning quarterbacks and, you know, fair weather Lions fans jumped on the bandwagon, you know, and I was feeling kind of low. And I was like, man, that's a crappy feeling. I don't like this feeling. And so I've been going up and down.
It's like to be a real NFL fan when your team takes you to the highest highs, and then just like that,
got you like a fish.
Yeah, like Paul Bears just drop you in the hole.
gutted.
Yep.
And I just really, and I've said it from the beginning, I did get it. I let myself go there. I let myself taste it. I'm like in the back of my mind making Super Bowl plans. And that in of itself, for me, is a win. I am 38 years old. My parents are in their 70s. Like, we've never had the taste of Super Bowl. Never. And I'm going to take that as a goddamn win. A lot of teams don't have, Buffalo didn't have that taste in their mouth. You know what I mean? The Packers didn't have it this year because they were done the week before. So I'm still feeling really good, and we can get into, going for it on fourth. And everybody has some pretty big emotions about that. But I'm not going to dog the guy for doing the thing that got us to that place.
Yep.
I'm just not.
Yep. And I will say this, Sarah.
I'm not going to do it.
As a Vikings fan and someone who's been through it so many times, right now you are in about stage 3.
Yeah, you're coming out of the anger into the acceptance phase.
Yeah, you're doing the moral victory thing right now.
Yes, and I'm working through the stages as they are meant to be worked through. And I'm still rocking a Lions shirt. I'm not one of these people that, was a Lions fan last week and then won't be again until the playoffs next year. That's never been my.
Right.
We get you.
Yeah, well, true fans don't. They don't do that.
And I don't want our first Super Bowl win to break Taylor Swift's heart. I don't want to do that to America's sweetheart. So this doesn't.
That is so giving
to you. The year.
Yeah, because they'll be broken up.
She was like a nice lady. Yeah, exactly. So I didn't need the Detroit Lions to go in and destroy America's love story. That wasn't. It just wasn't the year. I'll leave that to San Francisco. I mean, what did you guys think about the game? Were you doing kind of what everyone else was doing, like the second half? Well, here's the Lions being the Lions. Like, how did you feel about it?
Well, that's the way I felt. Not Lions, but I was like, wow. I feel like I've seen this before. 1998.
It actually was a flashback for us as far as Viking fans go. Like, oh my God, we've seen our team do this exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Like,
The first half and the second half would be like, oh, we're good to go. We're going to coast.
It actually opened up some deep, deep wounds of mine.
I bet.
I felt for you. I really did.
Absolutely, 1,000%.
But I've got a couple more questions for you, so hang on and we'll come back with Old Sarah.
We are back with our friend from Milwaukee, Old Sarah.
Yeah. She's a bit disappointed. Her Detroit Lions lost last Sunday.
It's tough.
I want to know your gut feeling right now. How do you think the Lions are going to do next year?
I think they're going to be great. I mean, I was talking about this with a friend, and my concern is that the thing about Detroit and Detroit sports teams is that, like, we're a great underdog, like when no one expects anything of you, like that's when, like, our engines get going and our fires get lit, and we're like, okay, doubt me. Like, let's see how this goes. So I'm a little bit apprehensive of, like, the expectation,
right.
But I also think, and, like, watching the guys after the game and, like, how they were on the field, I really think that, like, that's not going to be the case. I think they're going to take these expectations and be like, yeah, we tasted it. Like, we saw how this city showed up. We saw how these fans showed up. Like, they're going to take it in stride and they're going to soar. I think they're certainly going to, I would be crushed if they weren't, in the NFC Championship game. Again, I believe that they can do it. Top of the division, hopefully, if the Packers want to piddle-paddle around and try to take that, hey, I'll be cheering for your Vikings. But, I think when it comes to the playoffs, you're just going to see an elevated situation. When you guys know, when you haven't been there before, that pressure is crazy. When you haven't really done the thing, like, it's an insane, it's a different game. The NFC Championship, that is a different game.
Oh, well, the expectations, like you said, are going to be different going into next season as well. And they're going to be playing a first-place schedule. They'll have a target on their back. Things change a little bit.
Yep.
Well, it's not like you got a lousy team there, too. So, a tougher schedule for sure next year, but, it's not like it was a fluke. I feel like Green Bay was kind of a fluke. I don't know. It's just me.
I feel like
it's just the hate talk.
I feel like
I don't know.
It could be the purple sunglasses that we look through every day.
I don't know. I ain't no scientist. Okay.
Guys, I live here. Let me tell you, Green Bay's always been a fluke. And I'll tell you something else. I moved here the year, and I've always worked in sports bars. I moved here the year that they won the Super Bowl with Rodgers, and it could not have been less exciting. I mean, everybody, like, because they expect it, and they've always been the best. And it was just another day. And I remember looking at my boss and being like, I don't understand. Like, the team just won. Like, why isn't everything on fire? Like, why are people like in the streets? And he was just like, oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, we had a good year. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what a miserable way to live. So when the Lions get it, when the Vikings get theirs, like, we're gonna take care of business. So the Packers, even when they win it, they're a fluke, gentlemen. Even when they win it.
All right, Sarah, we're gonna have to call you next week. Get your picks for the Super Bowl.
How's that?
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I've been getting my squares. I've been placing my bets, so I'll be ready for you.
Good. All right.
All right. Well, take the weekend off. Hopefully, get some rest. Drink up.
Yeah, work through these stages of grief, and then wake up Monday and do it again.
There you are. Way to go, Sarah.
Hi, girl.
All right, guys.
We'll see you next week, sugar.
All right. Take care. Bye, guys.
You too.
This is the Fox Morning Show.
Now, here's what's trending on 107.9 The Fox.
Dave, we've got a video here that's gone viral of a preschooler. She's a preschool girl who keeps dropping the F-bomb in class.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So this is what her teacher decided to do. With permission from her mom, they agreed to do this to help her out.
Since we've had some issues with cussing.
Okay.
We are not cussing anywhere but in the bathroom.
Okay.
And we are not going to give the finger anywhere but in the bathroom. Because we can't teach our little friends that we're doing this.
Okay.
So Mommy said it's okay for you to do this in the bathroom. That way you don't get in any more trouble and we can move forward. Got it?
Yeah.
Only in the bathroom.
Okay.
All right. All right. Are you about finished?
No.
Well, hurry up. Zay, are you done?
Yeah.
All right. Did you get it out of your system? We're not going to do that anymore, okay? Okay.
I hope that works.
Yeah, the teacher is allowing her to go to the bathroom to, let it all out.
You got something to say it in here.
You want to flip the bird? Go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you can't do that in front of the other kid.
No. What a cute little girl she is, too.
Have they considered holy water?
That might leave a scar. It might burn.
Wow.
All right. Are you about finished?
No.
Well, hurry up. Zay, are you done?
It doesn't seem like she has Tourette's. Maybe she was a sailor in a former life. I don't know.
A preschooler who can't stop dropping F-bombs and flipping the bird. Now, you've got grandkids roughly that age.
3 grandchildren, yep.
And,
2 girls and a boy.
Any of them?
They swear like sailors.
They do, huh?
Oh, my God.
Just like Papa.
You bet. No, they'd be flabbergasted, man. They'd be horrified, mortified, especially Paisley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Peyton. She's more of the little rebel.
She's the rebel.
Yeah. But Paisley's she's straight and narrow. That girl, you bet.
She's not gonna allow that. She'd probably set her little sister straight.
She probably would, or they'd be the first one to narc on her.
Well, it's Groundhog Day.
That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day.
Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of prognosticators.
What's it going to be?
6 more weeks of winter, I say.
6 more weeks of winter.
Or it could be the coming of an early spring.
You think it's gonna be an early spring? Who knows?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Showtime. And it's Friday.
And the word out of Punxsutawney, Philadelphia, right? Is that where that's held?
Punxsutawney, that's where he's from, Punxsutawney.
So, rather, Gobbler's Knob,
Pennsylvania,
right?
yeah. Well, that's where he lives, on Gobbler's Knob, in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
All right,
yeah.
all right. And you've been there, right?
I've been by it.
Okay.
It's just a field. It's nothing.
Okay.
It's no big deal. It's stupid. It's over in 2 minutes.
Fastest 2 minutes in entertainment.
Pretty much, other than horse racing, yeah.
Well, he's forecasting an early spring. He did not see his shadow.
Just for honor, I'm going to have Philly steak and cheeses tonight for Phil.
And that falls right in line with our Fox forecast, which has been fantastic all week. Starting out again with some fog in some areas, so careful. But otherwise, partly sunny and returning to the 40s again today. Through the weekend, we'll be in the 40s. And heck, I'm seeing 50 on Tuesday again. So, man, this feels like we're going to be paying for it somewhere.
That's
down the
exactly
line.
how I feel. I'm waiting for the other snow boot to drop.
That's right. We'll take it while we can get it. That full Fox forecast anytime at 1079thefox.com. We're at 30 at 7:03.
Right. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if it goes back to winter, well, it's almost March, you know.
Right.
It's already getting into February. And welcome to it. Your Friday, February 2nd already into the new year. Well, here's what's shaking in our corner of the globe. There's a man that's facing terrorizing and trespassing charges after police say he refused to leave the mother of his kids' home and then threatened to beat her up and kill her. Court documents say while being arrested, Adrian Williams told officers, "Hurry up so I don't come back and kill this expletive." He's due back in court March 13th for a preliminary hearing. Jim Rohr says crews are working hard to demolition the Moorhead Center Mall. The western third wall of the mall is what he calls a three-phased approach to the demolition. That's going to be done in about a month before they start phase 2, which is the south portion. That's where the new library and community center is going to go. He expects that to be completed by the middle of April or the 1st of May, right around there. Fire crews responded to an early morning fire at Bergseth Brothers after a delivery truck caught fire. Crews were called to 47th Street North in Fargo about 2:35 this morning. Multiple engines responded and were able to put the fire out quickly, but the smoke lasted about a half an hour.
Save the beer!
Yeah, throw yourselves on it. It's Groundhog's Day, but again, don't put too much stock in what Punxsutawney Phil says about when springtime will arrive. Other than this year, he's probably spot on. They say he's only right 39% of the time, and that's only in his region. He said they say you're better off flipping a coin. They used to eat Phil after he made the prediction. They served him up with a nice bolognese.
That just sounds so wrong.
And you know, Phil has a wife. Her name, Phyllis.
Oh, well.
They've never had kids. She's emotionally cold, I guess. People are getting Spotify tattoos.
Spotify?
It's a scannable code that links to a particular song on Spotify.
Oh, really?
But there's some drawbacks. For one, the code may not work after the ink and skin have aged.
Okay.
And there's the possibility that Spotify shifts away from supporting the codes at some point.
Oh.
You end up with Copacabana on your arm or something. Yeah.
No, there's words like fast car or something.
Well, for heaven's sake. A junior high school principal in Japan was fired. You know what he did?
What?
He admitted he'd ordered regular-sized coffees at 7-Eleven, but he went to the machine and filled large ones.
Oh.
And they canned him for that? Come on over here to America. And finally, a woman claims she had sex with police to ensure that her brother's murder was properly investigated.
Oh, what?
Well, I guess when the long arm of the law isn't working, you switch to another body part. There you go. That's your news for right now. You're caught up.
All right, so coming up this morning, man, we got the driver of the monster truck, El Toro Loco, and your last chance to win some Monster Jam ticks and pit passes at 7:35. But it came down to the Vikings long snapper yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
In the Pro Bowl games. Yeah, we've got that for you next in sports.
Crowd comes to life. 9 seconds to go. Damari Wheeler-Thomas out top. Drives, bounces. Scumberg, 4 seconds. Pull-up jumper. No good. Rebound tipped up. Good. Woo! Good. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's good by Noah Fetterson. 1 second to go. Bison lead. Fetterson with a putback. Bison lead at 74-73.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Horns up.
Nice.
Fatty
nice.
with
Got
the
it done.
tip-in
Yes.
in overtime to give the Bison a big road win over South Dakota State, 74-73. The Bison will be back in action tomorrow, north of here now, taking on UND next. That'll be at 3:30 right here on your Bison Nation station with coverage beginning at 2:30, not only on your radio, but on your phone, on your smart speaker, or online at 1079thefox.com. And next hour, we'll be talking to Sam live from the team bus as they make their way back from Brookings.
Right.
We'll be waking everybody's ass up.
Get up and party. It's
Yeah,
Friday.
you guys just beat the
I
Jazz.
can't believe you even went to bed.
Right? Meanwhile, it was a thriller last night, too, in the Pro Bowl games, and it all came down to the Vikings long snapper, Andrew DePaula.
Remember, he needs 7 to win.
Bring it home.
That's 5.
There you go.
Time.
There it is.
Okay.
This is a machine. This is it. This is a machine.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Another win for the NFC.
Oh, how about a skull for that? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. He's only one of 3 of our players that are there. Our long snapper again, Andrew DePaula, needed 7 points to win the snapshots for the NFC, and he got 9.
How about
9.
that?
Yeah,
Nice.
came through in the clutch. So as of now, the first batch of the Pro Bowl game skills challenges are in the books, with the NFC taking a 12-6 lead. It'll all come down to 3 flag football games when it wraps up on Sunday. Each player gets $80,000, man. Losers get 40. That's still not too bad.
That's still pretty good, yeah.
Some extra ching. Meanwhile, of course, the last real game of the season, 1 week from this Sunday, February 11th in Las Vegas, between the Niners and the Chiefs. And the Niners, Nick Bosa, has already started a war of words between the two teams. He called out the Chiefs' offensive line and said they all hold a lot. They're cheaters, he said.
Oh,
they hold
Bosa.
a lot.
Oh, do you need to get held?
Yeah, well, just the offensive line, they will. They'll hold you.
That's right. Yep, like a baby.
That's right. That's right. So I'm sure that's going to be locker room material for sure. Yeah, he's starting a war of words.
Okay.
That's your Fox Sports. Oh, I should mention, too, tonight on TV, looking for something, the Wolves back on the hardwood, hosted the Magic. So go Wolves. That's your Fox Sports. That Fox forecast again today, starting out with some fog in some areas, partly sunny otherwise, and returning to the 40s for our daytime high. We'll be in the 40s through the weekend and maybe 50 come Tuesday. Check it out for yourself at 1079thefox.com. We've dropped a couple degrees. We're at 28 at 712.
And we got MJ, the driver of the Monster Jam truck, El Toro Loco. He's on the show. If you had a monster truck, what would you name it? We'll talk about it coming up.
Now, here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
Is this MJ?
This is.
Our driver?
Yes, sir.
Hey, welcome to the Fox Morning Show, my man.
Hey. Morning.
How are you, man?
I'm doing amazing. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing great.
Dude, you drive monster trucks, man. That's pretty freaking cool.
El Toro Loco.
That's right. That's me.
Wow, that's awesome. Dude, that's become a very popular crowd favorite. The big orange truck with the bullhorn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The fans love it, especially little kids. When I can got a little special button in there, I can blow smoke out of the nose of the bull, and they love it every time.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
okay, so
living the dream.
Now, before you ever got into actually driving for Monster Jam, I mean, what were some of your homemade vehicles that you created and drove?
I grew up just really trying to get my hands dirty. I would pull things apart, try and find my way back together with them. Most of the time, I ended up with extra parts, as one does, and then I ended up going to school to become a mechanic. I was a full-time automotive mechanic, and I still just couldn't get the thought of monster trucks out of my head. Then I worked for an independent team for a couple years. I really learned the ins and outs of the truck and what it takes to wrench on them, when it breaks, what it takes to put it back together. And then that led me into the driver's seat with that same team for a couple years. And then the opportunity arose to end up driving for Monster Jam, and I just couldn't jump on any faster, and here we are.
That's awesome. That's a great story, man. I mean, you started out, like you said, cranking a wrench on them. Who's your, I guess, rival?
I love racing everyone. I know I've become great friends with everyone on the track and off the track, so we all have that competitive edge where we just want to beat each other every time.
Yeah, I know, but there's always driver X. So who's the jerk that everybody always loves to beat up?
Oh, man. No, it's awesome. The ones I like, I feel pride in myself when I can take down, my good buddy Tony Oaks. He drives Thunder Roris, or, of course, Brandon Vincent, who drives Gravedigger. They're just such stiff competitors. So when I get the chance to beat them, it's really it makes me feel like, man, I really do belong here. I can hold with the big boys.
What's your favorite competition to compete in at Monster Jam?
There's 4 competitions. So we do JCB Racing, the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge, Donuts, and then Freestyle. Honestly, my favorite right now would have to be either Donuts or Freestyle. My truck has been on a roll with Donuts. So far, we're just finished up our 4th week in, and I am 4 for 4 on donut wins. I've gotten 1 win every weekend, and I'm hoping to keep that streak going this weekend. So donuts or freestyle are definitely my favorite.
Nice.
Wow, we're pulling for you, man. That's for sure. Any secrets you got loaded in the front of that thing, like grappling hook or anything? Or
No, just the smoke. I like to come out when during freestyle, when the other truck's coming off the floor, I'll nose right up to them and get in their face and blow the smoke in their face just to show them, like, I'm up next. I got to beat you.
Again, as always, we can't wait. It's Monster Jam at the Fargo Dome. 2 shows on Saturday, 1 and 7. And then, of course, there's the pit party. That's from 10:30 till noon. I would assume you'll be there with El Toro Loco. And you can come right on up to you and get some autographs.
Absolutely. All the drivers will be out there on the floor. We'll be signing autographs. We'll be signing autographs to the last person gets off the floor. And once that's done, we strap in and we're ready to go wild. The Fargo Dome is one of the biggest floors we get to do. So it's basically a stadium-sized floor for us arena guys, so we get to stretch our legs a little bit.
We're looking forward to it. There's nothing like the monster trucks coming back to the Fargo Dome. MJ, you bet. El Toro Loco. We'll see you Saturday night.
Your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets and pit passes coming up here at about 7:35.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
You bet. Thanks, MJ.
You're listening to the Fox Morning Show.
Coming up next, Dave's Deep Thought.
107.9 The Fox. And now it's time for Dave's Deep Thought with your radio pal, Dave Jacobs.
On 107.9 The Fox.
I wonder how long it would take the police sketch artist to realize I'm describing him.
Dave's Deep Thought.
107.9 The Fox. Now, here's the Fox Morning Show.
On 107.9 The Fox.
All right, so tomorrow at the Fargo Dome, Monster Jam, the Arena Championship Series. 2 shows, 1 and 7. And don't forget about the pit party before the first show from 10:30 till noon.
Boy, you know, kids young and old alike all love that. You get up nice and close to all the trucks and take lots of pictures, and it's a good time.
So we asked on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com if you had a monster truck, what would you name it?
It's a solid question.
Mm-hmm. Brandy said Fargo Flight would be the name of her monster truck.
Like Scott Deegan said, he wants a monster limo, and he call it High Society. That's awesome.
Lisa said, always my vault.
Yeah.
Get it? Yeah. Melissa said, Mama Bear. Nothing stands in the way of protecting the baby.
There you go. Redneck Roadster, Sherry Ausk had pointed in on that. Had sounded off on that one. That sounds like that'd be pretty good. Big old smoking diesel.
Yeah. Tammy said Mac Daddy. Kent said Thunderstruck.
Jill said Spooky. I used to be my license plate on that 300 I had.
Right.
Yeah. Had an extra O. It was actually Spooky.
I like Angela's name. Big Tread Fred.
Patty. Hers is sold. Curtis sounded off. Money Pit. Boy, that's a fact, huh? Same with Connie. Skayar said Broken Tensions.
This came up a couple of times. Amy and Scott both said Grocery Getter.
Ooh, that's fun. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Who needs a flood?
Ryan said Dixie Normus.
No, I didn't want to be the one to say that, so I'm glad you did.
Bruce replied back, legit, LOL. Nikki said, tough call. There's a few different names. Silent Lucidity, or Nefarious, or Schism, or Butterfly Kisses, or Justice.
Oh, man, I don't know about the Butterfly Kisses.
That doesn't sound tough.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe Hungry Like the Wolf.
Jordan said, just let me make one out of a short bus and let me call it short bus, but I'll make the letters backwards and wrong and stuff like, the way Korn does.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, backwards K and stuff like that. Yeah. Rick Jackson had a great idea. He's going to name his Dave.
And judging by the picture she posted, I'm assuming Sarah has her own monster truck. And she simply calls it Dewey, and it's sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Nice.
I want a monster truck.
Yeah. That'd be fun. You could spray the crowd with Mountain Dew every performance. Yeah, you got a big water cannon on that thing. Nice.
And Joanna said Mamasaurus. And she posted a picture with that as well. A big dinosaur that says "Rawr,"
which means I love you, a dinosaur.
Yes.
Yeah. Way to go, Joe.
Let us know. If you had a monster truck, what would you name it? Leave it on our fan page on Facebook at 1079thefox.com. Your chance to win tickets and pit passes.
Yes, of course.
Well, it's Groundhog Day.
That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day.
Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of prognosticators.
What's it going to be?
6 more weeks of winter, I say.
6 more weeks of winter.
Or it could be the coming of an early spring.
You think it's going to be an early spring? Who knows?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Showtime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's Friday. You kidding me? Oh.
And if you haven't heard by now, Punxsutawney Phil didn't see his shadow. That means we're getting an early spring.
Face.
That's what I'm talking about.
Me too.
Well, I think it arrived already last week, man.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. I mean, this whole week has been fantastic.
Yeah, I no one's complaining.
Nope. And that's going to continue through the weekend, that Fox forecast, with a little bit of fog in some areas this morning. Other than that, partly sunny today. A return to the 40s for the high. That'll continue through the weekend, and 50 could be back by Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah. It's all there for you, that full Fox forecast at 1079thefox.com. We are sitting at 28 now at 8:03.
Well, it's happening now. Demolition of the Moorhead Center Mall. They're knocking it down, blowing it up, laser blasting it, whatever.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, Jim Rohr says the crews are working on tearing down that western third of the mall and what he calls a 3-phase program. Of the demolition. So this first part, about 30 days before they go to phase 2, which will be the south portion of the building. That's where the new library and community center is going to go. He expects that to be completed by the middle of April or the 1st of May. You want to know where that, the escalator went?
Oh, yeah.
Do you sell that? I mean, you would think that's a big piece of equipment.
That would be cool.
I know, right?
From my top level down to my man cave.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Even something like that. I wonder if you... Well, I blew my chance now. Those are some freaky mannequins and stuff. Hey, fire crews responded to an early morning fire at Bergstad Brothers this morning.
Save the beer!
No kidding, a delivery truck caught fire. About 2:35 this morning, crews were called in. Multiple engines responded. They were able to put it out right away, but with the smoke lasted about a half hour. Yeah, it's Groundhog Day, which means one more week of Taylor Swift in the NFL.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. And did you know before the Bill Murray movie came out 30 years ago, there's only handfuls of people showed up for this thing. A couple of hundred people.
And now it's
now it's
massive.
Thousands. It's 10 times that. Yeah.
And you said it's out in the middle of nowhere.
It's out in the field. It's really Punxsutawney's not that big of a town.
Okay.
And other cities have their own local groundhogs or other animals to predict the weather. Groundhog Club calls them imposters, of course. They're all hangers on.
Yeah.
So there's Shubenkanata Sam.
That just rolls right off the tongue.
Sure does. That's up in Nova Scotia. Lucy the Lobster, also in Nova Scotia. Wharton Willie in Ontario, Canada. Manitoba Merv in Manitoba. And Balzac Billy in Alberta, Canada.
What do they check on him?
Well, it's a dude in a groundhog costume. So I'm sure he's up there checking himself. Don't bring the kids to that show.
Yikes.
There's also Fufu the Hedgehog in Oregon, Cluxatani Henrietta the Chicken in New York, Pig's Cob Penny and the Squirrel in North Carolina, and Scramble the Duck in Connecticut. God, a town in Jersey has a stuffed animal groundhog they use. Then there was a groundhog known as Milltown Mel, was the headliner in Central Jersey, but he passed away a couple years ago.
Aww.
I knew a Milltown Mel didn't she dance at the Northern?
No.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Could be wrong on that. And finally, Disney World ended the Country Bear Jamboree.
They did?
It's done.
What?
That broke it down. It's not there anymore.
That's my childhood.
I'm sorry to report that, man. They said it was after they found out what bears really do in the woods. That was it. It's too scandalous for Disney. That's it for now. You're up to date.
All part of that cancer culture, isn't it?
Yeah. It's all gone.
My whole childhood gone.
I'm sorry for that. I never got to see it because they were working on it when I was there.
Oh, yeah.
That, and I never got to see Pirates because they were working on that.
That's too bad because that was always my favorite.
Dude, it was that, and I'm just glad they weren't working on the Haunted Mansion when this is down in California.
Yeah, you got to see that several times, didn't you?
There'd have been fires. I'd have been on the news.
That's right. Hey, coming up this morning still, we've got 3 minutes with Sam Niederman, the voice of the Bison. He's coming back from last night's awesome game between our Bison and the Jacks. And so He'll let us know what we need to know about tomorrow's big game between our Bison and UND and something special at halftime. So that's all coming up. But what you can watch for today in sports coming up.
Crowd comes to life. 9 seconds to go. Damari Wheeler-Thomas out top. Drives, bounces. Scumberg, 4 seconds. Pull-up jumper. No good. Rebound tipped up. Good. Woo-hoo. Good. Woo-hoo. It's good by Noah Feddersen. 1 second to go. Bison lead. Feddersen with the putback. Bison lead at 74-73.
Did that really happen?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, last night, man. OT. The Bison come through. Freshman Feddersen with the tip-in to give the Bison their 74-73 road win over the Jacks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing details about that. We'll be talking to Sam here in a little bit.
The Bison will be back on the road tomorrow up there at UND. 3:30 tip-off. Coverage at 2:30 here on your Bison Nation station. Not only on your radio, but on your smartphone, on your smart speaker, or online at 1079thefox.com. Exciting stuff for sure.
Should be a good game. Those Fighting Hawks are pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
They kind of rallied.
Also a thriller last night in the NFL Pro Bowl games, and it all came down to the Vikings long snapper, Andrew DePaula.
Remember, he needs 7 to win.
Bring it home.
That's fine.
There you go.
Let's do this. Go.
There it is.
Okay.
This is a machine. This is it. This is a machine. Let's go. Joe's machine.
Another win for the NFC.
Oh, man, we only got 3 guys there. Vikings long snapper, Andrew DePaula, along with our edge rusher, Daniil Hunter, and our fullback. And it was Andrew DePaula who came through. We needed 7 points to win the snapshots for the NFC, and he got 9.
Nice.
He's clutch. Yeah.
Gonna remember that.
If we ever need a field goal, it's not gonna be on him. It's gonna be on the leg of the kicker, of course.
Right.
He'll get it there. No problem. The first batch of the Pro Bowl game skills challenges are in the books, with the NFC now in the lead at 12-6. It'll all wrap up on Sunday with that flag football game. Actually, there's 3 of them, and $80,000 per player up for grabs. Yeah, that's a nice incentive.
Yeah, right? I'd do it. I'd give it a shot.
The big game, the one we're all looking forward to, 1 week from this Sunday, the Niners and the Chiefs in Vegas on February 11th for Super Bowl 58, and the war of words have officially begun, started by none other than Nick Bosa of the 49ers, who said all of the offensive linemen for the Chiefs are cheaters. He said, quote, they hold a lot.
Okay.
Well, don't all offensive linemen hold?
They all do.
I think so. They all hold a lot. That is going to be some locker room material right there. Hey, tonight on TV, the Wolves back on the hardwood. They're still the best in the West, and they're hosting the Magic. That's your Fox Sports. That Fox forecast again today with partly sunny conditions and 40s. That'll kind of be the trend all the way through the weekend, and maybe 50 coming back on Tuesday. Check it out for yourself. That full Fox forecast at 1079thefox.com. We've got 28 at 8:13.
Coming up, 3 minutes with Sam Needleman, voice of the Bison. What you need to know about Saturday's big game between our Bison and UND. We'll talk about it.
Now here's the Fox Morning Show.
107.9 The Fox.
All right, calling our man Sam.
On the road, on the bus.
Yeah, as long as he got up in time. Hopefully he didn't miss the bus.
Expensive to Uber back from Brookings.
Morning, fellas.
Hey! How's it going, man?
Cannot be better, man. Unbelievable win for the Bison.
What a thriller in overtime last night. Fetty with the tip-in.
Yeah.
It was amazing, Moose. I tell you, I've been a part of a few games here at NDSU. That one's going to go down as one of my favorites from this year, no matter what happens the rest of the way. I mean, you talk about rivalry game, right? Both teams don't like each other. Great environment down here in Brookings. You got to come on the road. You're desperate for a win. And the Bison got it done. I never lost hope. There was some dicey moments. You know, we were down by 1 going to that final tip-in, like you said. And Bowden Scumberg had a great look at it for the lead. Didn't quite get it. And, you know, here you are. When that ball is bouncing off the rim, you're thinking, man, maybe it's not our night after all. But Noah Feddersen to the rescue. What a great play by a freshman, you know, to stick with it and try and finish the play. Tips it in, and then hang on.
That's kind of what we've been talking about all season with this group, is they're right there, they're gritty, they're fighting till the end. They've won a few late, but they've lost a few late, and this one is no bigger than coming through, like you said, on the road against our rivals, the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. But now, the road trip isn't over. Now, you guys are going to come through Fargo and keep going up to Grand Forks, right? Tomorrow night.
Isn't it kind of funny? I mean, we're on the way back here this morning, and we'll stop at Fargo and sleep in our own beds tonight, which is nice, right, with Grand Forks only being an hour away. But, yeah, there ain't no rest for the UND. I left them for dead earlier in the season. They started off 0-3 in the conference. They won 5 in a row. They just got another big win last night against USD. They hung 95 points on them, so they're really playing well right now. They're the hottest team in the league. They're tied for first place. So it'll be a big challenge for the Bison. But, I mean, you're absolutely right, Moose. They needed that game. It's February, it's a new month. You know, you flip the calendar, chance to turn the page and start fresh, try and begin a second season of sorts. NDSU did that. I mean, they were tough. They were hard-nosed. They played physical against a veteran-laden SDSU team. Feel better. Dave Richmond and the staff. And as you can tell, I'm just so happy for him right now. It was a great display. But as you mentioned, it's not going to mean anything if you don't get it done on Saturday. This weekend's not done yet.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something to do, maybe a road trip tomorrow and get up to, again, the Alaris and cheer our Bison on against UND. Are you on the team bus right now?
No, I'm actually coming up separate because they're still sleeping, I think. They'll be rolling out here in a moment.
That sounds like you missed the bus.
We were worried you were going to miss the bus.
Yeah, you were going to miss the bus and you had to Uber all the way back to Fargo.
I don't know if they got any Ubers at 6 a.m. in Brookings, but yeah. They
have to steal a car, man.
That's what they call Ubering in South Dakota.
You just take it. The keys are in it. That's an Uber.
Yeah, well, hey, tomorrow, coverage beginning at 2:30 here, tip-off at 3:30. If you can't make the road trip up to Grand Forks, we have all the action for you all season long. Sam, safe travels.
Always, guys. I appreciate you guys having me. This is a great time to be a Bison fan. It's going to be a fun final stretch of the season. So if you're not going to the game in Grand Forks, I highly recommend you do. Join us on the radio, and we'll be ready to go. And I don't know if you guys heard, Red Panda is going to be the halftime entertainment. So I'm just trying to get a picture with her.
Quickly, for those that don't know who that is, describe that, because that's blowing up all over social media.
It is, yeah. Red Panda. If you look her up on YouTube, just YouTube Red Panda halftime show.
Pretty sexy, is it, or what?
It depends. I mean, like, you see, it's the talent, the unicycle that's like, 10 feet in the air, and she flips bowls onto her head.
Oh.
It's unlike anything. It's one of the craziest acts I've ever seen. The whole place goes nuts for it. It's magic every time. So Red Panda's going to be there, and that's going to be a sight to see here tomorrow.
Oh, dude, I'm watching a video right now. She's amazing and sexy.
Get your tickets now, and you'll get a basketball game as well with that.
All right, boy, dinner and a show. Look at this.
Red Panda with a little Bison basketball on the side. You got to love it.
All right, man. Sam Needham, voice of the Bison. We'll see you back in the hallways. You be safe now.
Sounds good, fellas. Go Bison. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Horns up.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.